Hello, everybody. I'm Keytorn. You know that. If you're a subscriber, if you're not, you should be.
Hello, Keys. This is Keytorn. Now, that last clip was uploaded years ago, and many updates have come to this wonderful game of Minecraft since then, and I have grown and changed as a human being. That is the last Minecraft video I ever recorded and released, and I thought it was going to be that way. But I've had some friends convince me to jump back into the world of making YouTube videos, and we'll see how long it lasts. I wouldn't anticipate it being too long, but we'll have some fun here. And so welcome, everybody, to KeyKraft Season 3. You might notice I've already had a bit of a start. This is just a house I built over the last couple days. I've really enjoyed playing, and I have a couple of friends who've been playing with me. As you can see, there's some other stuff developing on the server. And so I really would like to welcome you to Season 3 of KeyKraft, and I hope you enjoy. Buckle in, let's have a good time. Okay, so I think it's fitting to start off this series by giving you a tour of what I have already accomplished in the world. Alright, so world spawn is right over that way, and I ventured over here and I found this abandoned village. It was a wonderful setting, built right into the side of this mountain with some houses up on the cliffside. Very beautiful. As you can see, I have added this farm myself. Potatoes are my main source of food right now, and I just converted this standard farm that comes with the villages into one of my own style. Real quick, we'll have a sleep. This is the starter house that I've been using. I basically just refurbished, I believe it was a fishing shack at one point in time, early on in this village's history before it was destroyed and abandoned. As you can see, there's spider webs all around the village. We have Mob grieving off, so I'm not going to worry about that guy too much, but he's still quite a force to be reckoned with. So here we have my starter house. I've got some pumpkins planted outside. It's simple. I've just got some barrels for storage, a bed, furnaces, a composter because I needed some bone meal to dye some concrete for this build. Okay, so that brings me over here. This was the first build I constructed, believe it or not. That one came second because I was a little bored. Now this build is fairly simple for me. It follows all of the general rules that I follow when I build in this general style. I like to have a base level that feels like very foundational with stone walls and using typically oak logs as pillars. I'm going to try to break away from this mold. Most builds that I create in Minecraft recently have been very similar, and so I wanted to experiment with some blocks that I've not used before. I still consider granite, diorite, and andesite to be new blocks, although I'm sure they've been out for years and years. As you can see, I used trapdoors as the floor because it has this nice transparent look. It feels a little perilous when you're walking on it, but it's a cool effect. Now this is probably going to be my main workstation eventually, once I get stuff moved in from my little shack outside. As you can see, I've already started putting some barrels up for some storage. There's nothing up here yet, but, we're planning for the future. We come outside. We've had a lot of wandering traders about. Like a surprising amount of them. I've already killed a couple of them. We come over here. I built this. I was bored. Again with the trapdoors as floors. These are a very effective tool to separate a space. For example, this lower area, again with the stone foundations and the wool second floor. If you don't use these and you instead use a full block, you've got limited headroom. Or you could use slabs to get this similar effect, but to maximize the amount of headroom you get, if you use trapdoors as a floor for your second level, you get good separation of space as well as sufficient headroom to breathe. Now, I hope that throughout this series I can give you some tips that I have been using, and I will also be sharing those tips with my friends, such as my buddy over there. So that is it for what I have done. I've got a small mine. I just did a little bit of caving, got some iron gear. I've not found any diamonds yet, but I haven't really been looking. So, yeah, that's about it. So let's jump right into the rest of the episode. I'll see ya. Alright, so I decided one of the best options for a first major project on the server would be to get a nice communal mine set up. So we're here in our area, we got the houses behind us, and down here this is where I have decided to build the mine. I'm going to talk a little bit about what mindset I had when going into building this, and then I'll show you a time lapse of the whole thing being built. Okay, so I started digging down, and I decided to do these kind of like vertical wooden pillars, and I decided, you know, it's just a little weird how the pillars stretch so long, and then it's this weird diagonal shape section here, and so I decided, well, I should break the mold again, like I was talking about wanting to do, and find a new way to build that I never had before. And so I decided to make these diagonal shaped pillars, which I think really gives this good effect. So I've got the oak logs and the spruce logs, which I have stripped because they have a very similar color scheme, but one is the spruce stripped logs are a bit smoother than the oak, and so I think it gives this really good look. And I think in the future I might come back and replace these with the logs that have the bark on all sides, but I'm not too picky about that, and I kind of like the look of it. It gives a little bit more color heading downwards as well as upwards. So that was my thought going into it. And so I did all of the logs, and then I needed to figure out something to put in the middle here. I collected a bunch of leaves, and I experimented around a little bit. I put the leaves here. I didn't like how it was a completely flat surface then, and I wanted some depth in the walls. And so I decided, well, let's just take the leaves out, and then I needed to figure out a block to put underneath. Put back a block. And so I messed around with some different things, different kinds of stone, but it just blended too much with the floor, and so I settled on white concrete. And I went out and I collected a whole bunch of sand and some gravel from down in the mines here, and I was really happy with the result. And then I had a whole bunch of sand left over, and I was like, I could do the roof of sandstone. And admittedly, I didn't have enough sandstone to do the whole thing. And so that was the idea, or that's the reason I used the spruce stairs down the middle. But I really ended up liking the look of it. I feel like everything points downwards, and when you're down here, everything points upwards. And it just feels like really well rounded. I think this was very successful. I really liked the way that it turned out, and I hope that some tips there are helpful to you. So now we're gonna jump right into a time lapse of me building the thing. So, oh, look at that, a mistake. I'll fix that, but we'll jump right into this time lapse, and I hope you enjoy it. So when everything is said and done, I'm really proud with the result that we have accomplished here in the mine. Obviously, some people have been mining. This was not done by me, but I left this open to be available for everybody on the server to mine should they choose to. And I'm glad that it's being used already to such a vast extent. Let me know what you guys thought of that time lapse, if it perhaps went too fast, if it was too long in time that it took up in the episode, anything of the sort. I really want to hear your opinions because, well, this is the first video I've produced in years, and it is the most effort I have ever put into a video, and so I really do hope that the difference in quality is drastic between the last video and this. So, yeah, please let me know your opinions down below in the comments. In the meantime, I think that's it for this episode. Next episode, I have some fun plans. I want to get some more farming up and running, perhaps build some farm-related equipment, and have just as much fun as I did today. So I will see you guys in episode 2. Thank you, and goodbye.